You want things. You try to manifest because that's what you hear. You try to embody because that's what you hear, but you don't necessarily, even after months and months, find it landing. Is that you? And if that is you, and this is the reason as to why that's happening, you may find yourself that you've got negative attachments to positive emotions or positive attachments to negative emotions. And you might think, oh my gosh, that's so overwhelming. In fact, it's not. It's actually very simple to address. I like to think of it as you've already got a program, and if you're trying to renovate a house, you know what it's like when on the walls you have got peeling paint or you've got wallpaper that's falling down and it's coming off in strips and stuff like that. At the moment, you might find yourself trying to manifest or create something new by just painting straight over the top of that. We all know that that's going to look terrible, and that is kind of like manifesting and embodying the new version of you when you've actually got old programs running. So you've got the old paint still on the wall, you've got the peeling bits coming off, and it's just going to create an epic disaster when you just keep trying to slap paint and paint and paint over that. So this method actually helps you just strip off all that peeling stuff so you can prep your surfaces again so you have a nice clean surface ready to embody. If that sounds good for you, we'll just keep watching, because we're actually going to practically walk through a method that rewrites that for you and can make your walls all nice and smooth. So what we're going to do is actually follow along. So if you have time, I would suggest you do this now, or come back at another time where you feel that you've got time to be able to really get into this. You might only need 5 minutes. Seriously, that is how quick this method can work. So we're going to start with positive emotions, and I would suggest that you watch this to the complete end so you can really understand how this works and feel it actually practically work for you right here, right now. So we're going to start with just 5 positive emotions. And I want you to start with just feeling in your body, the sensations in your body when you think of feeling joy. So stop now. Have a think in your body. You could be walking, you could be working out, you could be training, you could be driving a car. You can have your eyes open to do this. You can also have them closed. But feel joy in your body. When you think of joy, what do you feel? Does it feel uplifting physically in your body? Does it feel expansive? How does it physically feel in your body? Where do you mainly feel it? In your chest, in your neck, in your head? Where do you feel it? And then pay attention to what you actually feel in your body, not what you want to feel, but what you actually feel in your body. You might feel feelings of dread. You might feel feelings of fear. You might feel pain. What does joy actually feel like? Pay attention to it and whether you think that that should feel that when you're feeling joy. The next emotion we're going to check is happiness. Feel what happiness feels like in your body, getting into your body. If you feel genuinely happy, where do you feel it? What is it that you actually feel? Do you feel tight and numb and constricted? Or do you feel like all your cells are buzzing? Whereabouts in your body do you feel it? Your shoulders, across your back, in your chest, in your gut? Where do you actually feel it? Pay attention to what your body sensations actually are when you're feeling happy. And gauge for yourself, should it be like that? Should it feel good the way it does it feel good to you? Or are you feeling something else? Are you feeling tenseness? Are you feeling like nothing? Numbness? Then we're going to do the same thing for fulfilled. So now switching to the emotional fulfilled, check in your body when you feel feeling fulfilled. Does it feel expansive in your body? Do you feel like you're bigger than your actual body inside your body when you're feeling fulfilled? Or do you find yourself somewhere in your body, it just feels a bit bad, or it feels like you're doing something wrong? Pay attention. What does it feel like inside? And when I say body, I really mean check inside the sensations in your physical cells, in your muscles, in your cartilage, in every part of you. What do you actually feel? Don't just try to rewrite what you should feel, because that is actually that crusty paint that we talked about on the wall. You've actually got to get into what is actually there so you can actually see what's on the wall for you. The next one, so after you check the one that feels fulfilled and what that actually feels like in your body. Do you feel panic? Do you feel distress? Do you feel fear? What do you actually feel? The next one is being seen and heard. So for those, if you're feeling seen and heard, what actually comes up for you? Pay attention now. Feeling seen and heard. Does it feel really good? Does it feel uplifting? Does it feel like things are growing inside you? Does it feel like a wonderful warm feeling in your body? What does it feel like? Or does it feel kind of like recoiling? Or does it feel like it gives you shortness of breath? One of those should feel good. Or if you have negative feelings, it's really worth paying attention to that here. And the next one is, the last one that we're going to check today, is the feeling of feeling valuable. When you're truly feeling yourself that you're feeling like a really valuable person, what does it feel like? Checking in there. What does it feel like? Does it feel wonderful? Does it feel cozy? Does it feel just wraps you up like in a cocoon? Or do you feel shrinking? Do you feel small? Do you feel anger when feeling valuable? What comes up for you? So it's worth paying attention to what you actually feel. Now, I want you to pick the one that felt the worst when it should have felt really good, but it actually felt the worst. That's the one that you pick. We're going to rewrite and change that now. Now, don't take my word for it. This method has actually been developed by Professor van der Kolk, and he's actually a professor of psychiatry, and it's the simplest method. So keep watching. Don't just go off this now and think, oh yeah, this is never going to work. Believe me, it's crazy, but it works. So we're going to focus on just the one main positive emotion that actually didn't actually feel that good for you inside your body. And if all of those positive emotions felt good for you, we'll keep watching, because you might have a positive attachment to a negative emotion, and we'll do that a little bit later. So right now, inside your body, we're going to actually be focusing on that one particular emotion, whether that was joy or happiness or fulfilled or being seen and heard or valuable. Which one of those didn't feel as good as it should have? We're going to focus on that one now, and we're just going to go into the feeling that is actually present when you feel that emotion. What emotion are you focusing on? So pick one of those 5, the ones that actually didn't feel as good as they should have. Focus on feeling that emotion, but paying attention to what actually comes up for you. What are the emotions there? Then you're just going to get a pen or a finger, and you are just going to be moving your eyes horizontally and watching your finger while you feel those emotions. Keep feeling the emotions. Keep feeling what is actually present instead of happiness for you. Pay close attention to what's actually coming up. It might be panic. It might be fear. It might be terror. It might be anxiety. It might be anger. It might be rage or frustration. You might find yourself yawning. You might find yourself crying. Just keep moving your eyes from left to right. You don't actually have to look at a finger or a pen or anything. You can just be like an animal scanning the horizon for danger. So you're just moving your eyes from left to right, and you are just constantly feeling whatever comes up when you are focusing on that positive emotion. Keep doing that. Keep processing left and right, and just allow all of that stored emotion just to get dumped out of your cells, and it's being processed as we speak while you move your eyes from left to right. Keep processing, pay close attention what's coming up for you. Is it hurt? You might cry, you might sob, you might yell, you might tear up. That's okay, just let the emotion out, just let it. This is just the clearing method. This is like scraping that paint off the wall. Keep going, paying close attention, left and right. You might find yourself yawning. When I do this, I yawn and yawn and yawn. And it's just your body's way. I feel like a yawn's coming up now. It's your body's way of just processing that stored emotion so it's out of your body, so that you can move on from it in a healthy way. Keep going, and we keep going now until we feel that we've either got nothing left, we've processed all the emotions, or you have a gigantic yawn, like a big final, oh, I've got one now. And then that is processing. I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God, but that just goes to show you that it works, right? So that emotion is processed. And so you might feel a bit of just nothingness now. You might feel like there's a little bit more tension there. And if it is, you just keep going. Just keep going left and right. It doesn't matter what the emotion is. It doesn't matter what trauma you had. And I know you could have had horrific trauma and it is terrible. You're just going to be processing the leftover emotion from that. That is it. You don't have to delve into it. You don't have to experience what happened at the time. We're just getting the emotion out of it. But once it's processed, it's gone. It's not going to keep blocking you, so keep it going. Left and right. Keep it going. Now, at the end, you might just feel like it's done. It's just finished. And then from there, we're just going to shake it out a bit or have a bit of a stretch. And then have a deep breath in and a sigh, and then just check. Check back to that emotion. If it was happiness that you did, check back to that emotion. And what do you feel now in your body when you feel happiness? What do you feel? Do you feel something that's more like happiness? Do you feel something more like joy? Being fulfilled, seen, heard, valuable? Do you feel something that's more in tune with those emotions rather than whatever other negative sensations that you had in there? And that's how you know whether you've cleared it. That's how you know whether you've stripped the wall or not and you are ready to move on. Once you've done that, you can work your way through lots of positive emotions. We're going to do the same now, but we're going to do it for the negative ones. Like I said, you might not have any negative attachments to positive emotions, but you might have positive attachments to negative emotions. So today we're going to focus on these 5, and I want you to check, how do you feel in your body about these 5 emotions? So going through and you're making sure you're focusing on your body right now. It doesn't matter whether you're in the bathroom brushing your teeth. Pay attention to what these feel like. They shouldn't feel real good, because they're negative emotions. They should feel bad in some form or another. And if you're finding that there is actually something that feels comfortable or really familiar or feels like an old pair of boots, feels really kind of like warm and like, well, that's not good, because these are supposed to be negative emotions. You're supposed to not want to feel these things. And if you've got positive attachments to these things, well, it stands to reason that your subconscious wants you to keep feeling more of them because it likes it. So we're going to do a check now. So we're going to be focusing on feeling uncomfortable. Process, feel uncomfortable. What does uncomfortable feel like for you in your body? Does discomfort actually feel uncomfortable? Or does it feel familiar and kind of like warm and generous to you? Pay attention to uncomfortable. You should be feeling things like kind of distress or tension or worry or feels awful. That's what you should be feeling. So moving on to the next one, powerless. If you feel powerless, how does it feel for you in your body? That sensation of powerlessness, is it a sinking feeling? Is it restrictive? Is it contractive? What does it feel like, that powerlessness is, and where do you feel it physically in your body? And if it feels like that, that's a good thing. If that powerlessness feels familiar, then that's maybe something that we need to address. Then scared. What does scared feel like? Does scared feel, it should feel like a bit catchy in your throat, breath, it should feel a bit panicky, it should feel anxious, and that all should feel bad to you inside your body. But do you feel something else? Pay close attention. What do you actually feel in there? Then the next thing is being alone, like desperately alone. How does that feel inside your body? That aloneness, does it feel sinking and sad and aching? Or does it feel kind of like comforting and familiar? And if it feels comforting and familiar, well, there's a big red flag, because that might be something that you need to address. So that feeling of aloneness, completely and utterly alone, what does that feel like inside your body? Now we're checking on to the feelings of being unhealthy, just being really unhealthy, whether that be physically, whether that be with your nutrition, whether that be with your strength or fitness, whatever it is you want to focus on that in your body. What does that feel like, that feeling of being unhealthy? And you gauge, does it feel good or does it feel bad, like it should? What do you actually feel when you feel that? Where do you feel it in your body? What does it feel like? Does it feel kind of like numb and gorgeous? Or does it feel like it should, which is a bit yuck, tense, like wrong inside your body? Okay, so now that we've checked those things, you're going to pick the one that actually felt in some way familiar or kind of good. You're going to pick one of those, and I would suggest that you pick the one that actually felt the best, because you shouldn't be feeling negative emotions and for them to feel good. So pick the one. For you, it might be powerlessness. That was mine. Powerlessness felt good to me. How crazy is that? Being uncomfortable felt good to me. In fact, all of mine were totally screwed up. The positive ones felt bad. The negative ones felt good. Like, honestly, what goes on? You might feel like this too. That unhealthy thing, you might be, well, you know, this unhealthy, wow, that feels really good to you. So choose the one that you feel is probably the one that you need to work on. Now we're going to reset it. So focus on what actually comes up for you when you feel that one negative emotion, whether it be discomfort, powerlessness, being scared, alone, unhealthy. See what it feels like, and then left to right, horizontal eye movement. Process whatever true emotions are actually there for you when you focus on that negative emotion. Left to right. Keep going now. I'll keep my finger going and just allow whatever emotions to come up. You might find situations that have happened in your past come up in your mind, and that's okay. Just process the emotions that come with it through tears, through sobbing, through rage. Let it out. You might shudder all over. You might yawn and yawn. Whatever it is, just keep going left and right. Allow the emotions to flow, whatever the emotions are. Scared, anxious, comfortable, safe, whatever emotions come up, just feel them and allow them to be processed. Feel free to stop this if you know you need time to keep going. Keep going right now. Stop this. Keep going right now. Processing those emotions. A little more. Until you just feel like they're done. Those emotions are over. A big final yawn. A big final sob. A big final fit of rage that comes out of you. Doesn't matter. Allow it to come until you feel like it's just processed. And once you're there, shake it out. Have a stretch. And now, deep breath. What emotions are actually there for you when you think of that negative emotion now? Whether it be discomfort, powerless, scared, alone, unhealthy. What emotions actually do present now? Do they feel negative now? Do they feel positive? If they still feel positive in any way, you know you've got a bit more work to do. It's not actually going to take that long. You've just got to scrape that paint off the wall, and sometimes you just need to do a little bit longer, like you need the steam to get that bloody old wallpaper off the wall that just will not come off. It will come off, trust me. Just processing left to right. I kind of think of it like, you think about it in caveman days, If our ancestors were running from a tiger or a bear and they were feared for their lives, imagine how traumatic that would be. So they finally have sprinted away from the bear or the lion or the tiger, and they have survived. And then, but they have to keep being on the lookout, right? So they take a deep breath in, I'm safe for a second, and they're constantly scanning the horizon to check for the next bit of danger. And it makes such logical sense that our brain would be equipped and wired because they're scanning for the next danger. You process the emotion of the trauma of what you just went through. To me, that makes so much sense. Does that make sense to you? If so, leave a comment. Now, my question is, if any of this has just like blown your mind, I want to hear about it. Please write a comment below. I'd love to know how this has helped you. And I'd love to know what emotions you actually felt instead of what emotions instead, and what you feel now after you've processed it. And if you're watching this and you probably want to see what other people have experienced too, particularly if you've had an experience where you go, oh my God, that actually worked. So please leave a comment below. I'd really like to hear from you. And if you know other people that you know are probably stuck like this, please share this. This is a giving activity. So what I've also done is this is a very free access link. This is an emotion chart. I'm going to show you now. So here's a whole bunch of positive emotions and a whole bunch of negative emotions. And I would suggest at a free time, and you organise when, is just have a look down all the positive emotions and one by one, and yes, it will take a while. Just make sure you're have a feel of what does that feel like for you, and does the positive emotion actually feel positive? And if it doesn't feel all fully positive, just make a mark on it, because you can go back and do this horizontal thing. Go all the way down the positive emotions and then all the way down the negative emotions so that you know which ones need to be reset. That's how you do that. Now there's a link below that will give you that chart. You don't have to go off this big screen and blow it up. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm not collecting your email. Just go straight to the link, get the chart, so you've got that so you can actually go through the negative emotions and the positive emotions and make sure that they are the right way round. Now, why do we do this? Well, of course, if you're trying to actually achieve anything, if you're trying to achieve anything that you want, well, of course, you want to get there. But if your programming, like all that peeling paint on your wall, keeps seeking out negative emotions and running away from positive ones, well, the likelihood of you achieving that with any great sense of success is pretty low. This is the point. So then you can use this when you are going through your embodiment activities. So if you're wanting something, everything everywhere always says you have to embody the version that has that. And yeah, that's great. But if you are stuck with this peeling paint crap, then you're trying to embody over the top of that. So you can also use the exact same method in looking at the things that you're trying to embody, that the person that has that, the version of you that has that, compared to the version of you that doesn't. What are they doing, thinking, being, showing? And then you can actually look at each example of that and ask yourself, how does that feel in your body? And if you find that it doesn't feel good, well, then you've got some horizontal eye movement to do in order to fix it. That simple. You don't have to limit it just to the individual emotion. Sometimes you will have an embodiment issue and it doesn't feel good when you have a particular combination of emotions, like happy, fulfilled, safe, and content. You might find when you have that combination of emotions that just collapses you on the inside. Well, that is something that you can address quite simply with the horizontal eye movement. You don't need years of counselling and therapy. You don't have to go and get hypnosis. You can do all those things, but chances are you're watching this because you have done those things and they haven't actually fixed it, right? Right, so next week I'm going to be focusing on actual methods for embodiment. And of course, these methods that I've taught you today help you make sure that your embodiment methods can actually stick to the wall and actually work for you. And the methods that we'll be going to next week is going into like things with the full nitty-gritty of how it is that you present when you have those things, how you respond in certain situations, what your self-care is like in all different facets, how you keep your boundaries. and what happens, in various scenarios. All of that we'll be going through next week. And each time we do that, the difference with this is you'll be looking at how it is that you actually are feeling about those embodiment things, not what you're thinking. Because visualizing looks at how you think, and what you think, you're supposed to be going on, oh, how does it feel to have that? Yes, but how does it feel in your body to have that? Not just how does it feel, how you want it to feel, but how does it in fact feel in your body? And then if it doesn't feel right, then we have an instant method to fix it. So next week we'll be going through all the very specifics of embodiment in order to get the things that you like. Now, if this has helped you, you might like to subscribe so that next week you are able to watch that video. Please share this with anyone that you think is going to actually help them, because I believe it will. Okay, next week, we'll see you then.